Hi guys, Cameron here, and today I'm counting down the top 10 Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. As you know, the Simpsons have done a Treehouse of Horror for every single occasion, so I thought I'd make it my decision to make my own top 10. So, I've gone through every Simpsons episode, and now I'm ready. But just because my favourites doesn't mean yours shouldn't count. That's why I created the runners-up. So, let's see the runners-up for the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror top 10. Runners up for the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror top 10 are Starship Poopers, Fly vs. Fly, and the Ned Zone. Let's hear up and get straight into the list. Number 10, Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores. After Homer steals a donut from the Lard Lad statue, lightning strikes it and it comes to life, along with all the other Springfield eyesores. They then begin to attack the town, but it seems that a good old song about not looking at them will make them go away. Plus, it was nice to see Bart finally team up with a devilish eyesore. So props to the Simpson team for doing that. But apart from that, this was a very enjoyable episode because of how much it pained to see these icons in their own prime. Plus, the Lard Lad coming to life has become part of the Simpsons and Treehouse of Horror tradition. But anyways, let's move on. Number 9, the Homega Man. Based off the popular movie The Omega Man, this sees Homer survive after the French nuke Springfield after Mayor Quimby makes a terrible accusation against the French and their froggish nature. Homer's the last man alive, so he does everything. Goes to the movies, beats naked in church, but it turns out that a few of the Springfields, including Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Lenny, become mutated and are opening up a new society, and Homer is the new one to die. So, but luckily Marge and the children have shotguns, and it looks like Springfield will stay desolated for a while. Unless that's moving on. Number 8, E.T. Go Home. E.T. Go Home. This is a parody of the classic Spielberg movie E.T., where Kang is E.T. and Bart is Elliot. Except the government really wants Kang. One of my most favourite moments from this episode is when Homer dresses up like President Lincoln to fool the feds, and when Kang, instead of peacefully flying over the cops like in the movie, it's also nice to see Kang, one of the aliens, as they've become part of the Simpsons tradition. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it, and let's continue. Number 7, the Island of Dr. Hibert. I know a lot of people may not like this story, but I found it quite interesting. Based off the fictional character the Island of Dr. Moreau, Dr. Moreau is filled by Dr. Hibert, and as we see, some interesting animal activities go on, as it turns out that Dr. Hibert turns all of Springfield's characters into animals, and even turns Ned into a cow for some reason. I really don't know. But all I can say is this episode was really good, and I may not have liked it, but I sure did like it. The ending also was great after seeing Kang and Kodos. It's nice to bring back classic characters. So, yeah, that's what I thought about it. Continue. Number 6, Oh, the Places You'll Go. What to say about Oh, the Places You'll Go? Dr. Seuss! I love a good story, but I love a Halloween story where Dr. Seuss gets involved, and not like those questionable Dr. Seuss live-action movies. Anyways, Homer fulfills the shoot. It's like the Cat in the Hat, except Homer's the cat, and the entire Springfield is littered with Dr. Seuss references, and I mean literally, to the Grinch, to Sam I Am, to the Lorax, and many more. Eventually, they make a nice good Homer the cat makes a nice good old throw rug for the children. Okay, let's skippity-doo bop on to the next. Number 5, Homer 3. Homer 3, more like Homer 3D. This episode was based off a popular Twilight Zone episode and also possibly from Tron. Homer finds, after hiding from Patty and Selma, Homer finds a hidden vortex behind his bookshelf. He then hides in it and enters a 3D dimensional world. He then all problems go awry when he kicks a cone. Bart goes in to go save him, but Homer gets sucked into our world. But don't worry, I think that cake shop will keep him company. It's nice, it's good use of 3D animation. Come to think of it, why haven't we seen more of that in The Simpsons? It would be great. Oh well, let's cyberspace on to the next. Number 4, Easy Bake Coven. Easy Bake Covet is possibly one of the most simplest of on this list. It turns out that it takes back to the classic pilgrimage, and it turns out that Marge is a witch, and she goes to visit Patty and Selma, who, no shocker, are also witches. They begin kidnapping children, but immediately stop after they realize they could get treats instead. They thus start Halloween. It may be simple, but it was nice to see Patty and Selma for what they really are. Just a couple of old witches. Oh well. Bibbidi bobbidi boo on to the next. Number 3, Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. Welcome to your nightmare! No, really. Here's how this story plays out. It's basically the first Nightmare on Elm Street, except with Simpsons characters, as it turns out that groundskeeper Willie died at a parent conference and swears revenge on all the children in their dreams. He then kills off Martin Prince, and Bart, Lisa, and Maggie go attack him in the dream world. So it was nice to see an homage to a classic 80s slasher, but I think my slasher rap was a lot better for him. But still, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 8, 9, I'm not going to be fine. Number 2, The Raven. The Raven is a story by Edgar Allan Poe, and it is the best I've ever seen. And I may have dabbled a bit in it. Check my video. And here we go. Homer is tantalized by a raven, looks very similar to Bart, just like in the man in the story. This may have ended up higher on the list, but nothing can top what number 1 is. But I will give props to James Earl Jones for doing the voiceover. So let's skim over to number 1. The number 1 Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode is The Shining. The Shining is based off the Stephen King book The Shining, where Homer is, here's Johnny, and he's trapped in a hotel with no TV and no beer, and slowly descends into madness like the man in the story. Eventually, all the family freezes, and Stephen King makes a nice cameo. The reason this is the first one on the list is because it's such an iconic Simpsons episode, and it really is. Every story I hear from Treehouse of Horror fills me with laughter, and not just laughter, enjoyment. I hope in future to make another list about this, but for now, that was my list for the top 10. Subscribe if you want more top 10s, and I will see you guys later. Join me next time where I will be reviewing another Halloween movie. Look out, there's goosebumps about.